And we're live. Hello, everyone. If anybody is in fact here, I don't think they are yet. But yes, if you are here, if you're watching it later, hi. Let us know you're here in the comments. And I'm here with my lovely, lovely co-hosts of the Plodalong. And we have, of course, got, can't point in the right direction ever, Charlie. Oh, and down there we've got Jem.
Hello.
So hello, if you're here in the comments. And we're here to talk today about the shortlist. It's come so quickly.
It has come quickly.
I was checking today and it was under 6 weeks. So it's not just me that thinks it was short.
Mm-hmm.
Like a day under 6 weeks.
Flown by.
Yeah, it has really, really flown by. I feel like I'm really close to the camera for some reason.
Especially as soon as the Fixman prize got announced, I feel like it's gone. That's when it started speeding up, I think.
Definitely speeded up at some point. So we have got some people in the chat. Hello, Teresa. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
And Kelly is here. Hiya. And Ariane is here. And TK Talks Books and is here. And Kate's here. Hello, hello everyone. Elizabeth's here. Hi, Elizabeth. And Ellen is here. Hello. So do start letting us know in the comments. Have you got any first thoughts about this shortlist? It was just announced 2 hours ago. We've only had a couple of hours to come down from the massive excitement.
We're so excited.
Hyped up.
Yeah, I can confirm that these two have been very excited all day.
Were you concerned that by the time we got to this, we'd actually be like, oh,
completely stressed out?
Because that nearly did happen.
We did, yeah, we did have a little nap, so I tried to.
Did you? Before we go any further, we've got Alba, hey, and we've got Jennifer, hi Jen, and we've got Robbie Reader, Kevin. And we've got Dia. Hi, Dia.
Hi, Dia.
Oh, I missed someone, but Rosie. Hi, Rosie. And Elizabeth from Books and Books. Hello. And Dia has not seen the list, right? We need to tell you the list then.
We'll be talking through it.
Yeah, let's do that. So, oh, and Zach's in saying don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks, Zach.
Oh, yeah. Boop,
boop. So, yeah, shall we run through the list quickly? Charlie, do you want to tell us the list so that people who haven't seen it yet can know the list?
Starting with Thunderclap by Laura Cumming.
Oh, I have that one.
Yes, also do I. There we go, fit.
Snap.
Then we've got Doppelganger by Naomi Klein.
Still have that
one.
We'll
be talking through these. Oh, look, she's also got that. And then we've got A Flat Place by Noreen Masood.
I don't have
All That She Carried by Tia Miles. Code Dependent by Madamita Mergia. And How to Say Babylon by Sophia Sinclair.
Perfect. Thanks, Charlie. So, yeah, we've got lots of people joining in the comments telling us what they think. Let's see if we've got some banners. So, thoughts on the shortlist. I'm coming to you first, Jem, because Charlie's told us the list.
Mixed thoughts.
Mixed.
We love a salty Jem.
I'm not super salty, just a touch of salt, I would say. Just a light sprinkling of salt.
Tell us about your light sprinkling of salt.
We all in here.
Well, my main problem is that Intervals is not on the shortlist.
Obviously.
This is the main issue, because that book is phenomenal.
Have you finished it?
No.
No, that's fine. You can still think something's phenomenal because I think Thunderclap is, and I haven't finished it.
Yeah, I'm still halfway through. You know when you've got too many things on the go, and I was like, right, I've got to finish my book for book club, for my work book club, which then I found out that no one else has finished, so it's actually been bumped by 10 days, so I didn't have to like rush to finish it. And then I've also got the tandem book that was supposed to be finished about 4 days ago and I still haven't finished it. So
Yeah, I have finished that but not reviewed it yet.
yeah. And I've got Matrescence out from Libby, and that goes back in 4 days. So and then there's like 10 people waiting for us. So I'm like desperately trying to finish it.
No, that was so good. So you definitely need to finish that.
I'm really enjoying it, and I just know that it will be like a 12-week wait if it goes back and I haven't finished it. So I've gone on a tangent, but yeah, that was why I haven't finished Intervals. I'm also a bit and this might get me some hate in the comments. A bit disappointed to see A Flat Place on the list because I thought it was average.
Oh, that's fair if that was what your opinion was on it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, and I liked all the references to Suffolk because that's where I live. If for those that don't know, so I thought that was nice, but it was just a bit waffly.
I really enjoyed it.
I haven't read it yet, so I have no comment.
So, yeah,
It wasn't one of my top ones. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I did really enjoy it, and there was like some really quotable moments. I have to see if I can find my my little notes on it. But yeah, I did really like it.
So yeah, do you have
thoughts?
Fair enough. So Charlie, do you have some more thoughts to add on the shortlist?
I was really excited by it because I got 3 right. That's 4. I did. You got 4 right. You got 4 right. But smug. So we got smug Alice over here.
It's only because I've never ever got the most predictions right before, I don't think.
Out of us. Yeah. So I got 3 right. I got. I predicted Thunderclap, How to Say Babylon, and also Codependent. So I haven't read Codependent, but I'm super excited to read that because that's like one. When we first saw the long list, I kind of wrote it off, but then I think I saw Louise Savage Muse's review of it, and she had a similar first impression, but when she read it, she loved it. So that's made me all excited for it. And yeah, I just think I'm excited. I think it's just because I've been loving every book I've read so far from the long list. So I feel like that's sort of just going to spill over into the shortlist a little bit for me.
Yeah,
that's me.
Cool. I was mostly excited. I'm just sad no Wifedom is on. Wifedom is not on there, and I did love it. I do think that that's the sort of non-fiction book that probably could have got attention on its own.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a book that is like a really, really good quality book by a really high quality author who people already know about, to some extent. So really, really happy that it's shown up on the long list and made people read it and made me read it, because I became interested in it by predicting it when we were looking for stuff for this. But I just really, really thought it would make it. I really, really hoped it would. So I'm
still going to read it. You still made me and Jem want to read it, so
good. But I mean, yeah, that's so far, like you said, Charlie, like everything has been good, of a good standard. So I wasn't that concerned what would be on there, apart from I did want Wifedom and I did want Thunderclap, which I'm about halfway through. So glad about Thunderclap, sad about Wifedom. And I just had a feeling that Doppelganger would be on there. And my review isn't out yet. So it's good for the fact that my review isn't out yet, because I've filmed a review. Shameless plug. But yeah, this won't be a favourite for me. I'm
a little bit scared by that one, being honest. Out of the whole long list, that's the one that I'm sort of most, not the long list, short list. Out of the short list, that's the one I'm sort of most scared by.
Yeah. I don't think I thought that we would have that and Codependent, because I know they are about different things, but I feel like they're both in that sort of, my brain has classified them in the same sort of like modern times, up to the minute sort of category.
I feel like there are definite themes then, aren't there, with this shortlist? It seems to be sort of like, because obviously you've got the sort of like the memoirish with obviously How to Say Babylon, and then Flat Place particularly. Yeah.
But I'm really excited to read How to Say Babylon. Everyone's made me super excited for that.
Yeah, me too.
And I think All That She Carried will be really, really good.
Yeah.
Although I didn't put that on my wish list, and I still want to read A Flat Place because I had it out of the library and didn't get a chance to read it, so I had to go back. So I'm still hankering after that one. So I'm glad I've read a book on the list. That's a positive.
I've only read one. How many have you read, Charlie? 2, 3? Ugh.
I've read one and I'm halfway through another one.
Charlie made some good decisions on what to pick up.
I don't know. I think it's just luck. I think I just head to the memoirs. I head to the memoirs because that's who I am.
So let's see what other people are thinking. Teresa says, so glad Thunderclap made it. Agree. Scared of Doppelganger and hoping it wouldn't make it so I could avoid it.
Yeah, me too.
It's like a book that's you're either gonna really, really like it or not. Like I didn't dislike it. It's really well written. And I do get the kind of element of it's scary because it is scary. Because it's scary what our world is like, and it touches on so many things that are wrong with the world. But I just don't think it's the book that I thought it was from how it's being marketed.
Yeah, so that's maybe the publisher's thing as well.
And the bits that were like what I thought the book was going to be, which is the stuff about like doubles and doppelgangers, was super interesting to me. But I'm not as interested in like the current scary right-wing politics and stuff that it goes into. But I think a lot of people will absolutely love it.
Hi.
Sarah. I know Sarah was really wanting to see Doppelganger. So happy Doppelganger's on the list, and Thunderclap. I have How to Say Babylon on hold for the audio at my library. Me too. The others are just very nice surprises that I look forward to reading.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the other three.
Jennifer's DNF to Flat Place, even though I thought it was very good, just lost momentum with the audiobook.
The only thing with the audiobook is I keep saying it's the long chapters. I cannot. What is it with audiobooks and long chapters? I feel like there's like a whole thing about that.
And surely the chapters are long in the actual book as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You can put it down and like I feel like it's easier to like take a break when someone's talking. How do you know when to like stop?
Yeah.
Like
when you put up your poll, I was like, but if the chapters are long in the book, then surely they've just made the same chapters in the audiobook.
No, but then you can break it like when there's like a sentence
be broken up more.
You can take a sentence break. I feel like if you, I just can't. Like, who can take an hour to like? Sorry, that's just me. It was good.
I was stopping my audiobook in the middle of sentences and stuff.
I was into rewind it and then remember. I can't even with long audiobook chapters. Makes it minus points.
Oh. Well, Mana Classics, the opposite. Happy to say, so happy that Flat Place made it. That's good.
Yeah, there's been a lot of love for A Flat Place.
There has, yeah.
And I think there's a really good range here on this list. I feel like there's books that are for different people.
Yes, I would agree with
You know
that.
what I mean? Like,
yeah, it does discuss mental health in a really, because like she had complex complex PTSD. I think that's right. And I've not really seen that discussed properly in a book before, and I thought that was really interesting how she did that. Yeah,
there were interesting bits in it. There were good bits in it, but it didn't come together cohesively for me.
So TK Talks Books has read and loved How to Say Babylon. I don't think I've heard a single person say that they've read and not loved How to Say Babylon. No. I'm so looking forward to the audio coming in from Libby.
Because she's a poet, it's just so, and she narrates it herself. She just does it so beautifully. Like it's just gorgeous. Like listening to it's just gorgeous. Plus, I know obviously it's very sad and very hard hitting. The experiences she's had, but yeah, it's just such a great memoir.
And Stephanie is so upset Wifedom isn't on the shortlist. I agree. I totally agree. Most eager to read A Flat Place and Thunderclap. Yeah, my plan now is to finish Thunderclap, and then I've got to wait for the next ones to come from the library. But yeah, I think I've got them all on order now. Yay. So 3 down, 3 to go. Pleased with the shortlist. Read How to Say Babylon, Thunderclap and Doppelganger. Says Kelly. And Alan is disappointed Wifedom wasn't on it. Glad about How to Say Babylon. Happy with the list. Sorry, Intervals did not make it.
Yeah, that's
I
how
think the
we
subject
feel.
matter is perhaps too difficult for the shortlist.
Yeah.
It is a difficult read. That is true.
Really?
Intervals was beautiful, though, wasn't it? We loved Intervals. Hey, Amelia. Sorry.
And Teresa is excited to read Codependent after hearing Louise Savage's review, but it's not published in the US until mid-June.
I think it's not published in Australia till the same sort of time, I think, as well. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's really annoying when they do that.
Sad Young Queens isn't on the list. Such a wonderful, absorbing read.
Well, thank you for telling us about that.
I fancy that one.
Yeah, that's another one that I would quite like to still get to anyway.
Me too, for sure.
And Charlie's here. Hi,
Hey up.
There's my Charlie.
Totally agree. Loved Intervals.
Yes.
Lots of love for Intervals.
Yes,
Sarah's still going to read Intervals.
It's so good.
I've lost where I am in the comments. Of course I have. Thunderclap I have on hold. Looking forward to Thunderclap and A Flat Place next. I only tried to read Thunderclap, which I DNF'd, so I actually don't have an opinion. Still interested in reading Doppelganger. A Flat Place with Codependent. Words are already hard. This is bad. Sarah has made it after rushing back from work, feeling a bit unsure of the list.
Hey, Sarah.
Pleased for Babylon, gutted for Matrescence. Yeah. Yeah, I do wonder if there's not as much variety as I was expecting. Like I thought we might have like Matrescence or Eve to fulfill like a sciencey sort of quota.
I kind of like that they've done it like just based upon like in my head. I'm like, if they've done it like this, then maybe that's because they're the books that they genuinely love the most, rather than they're trying to like tick a box.
Oh yeah, it definitely should be on merit.
Yeah, that's what the ones that they genuinely love. So I think it is annoying as a like, I guess as a reader, I like seeing it like that. But yeah.
Elizabeth thinks too many memoirs, not enough variety. Yeah, and Ariane thinks that as well. Annika had both How to Say Babylon and Doppelganger out from the library. Didn't get around to reading it before I had to give them back as they were reserved. I've had this problem too.
Sounds like the story of my life, Annika.
With a flat face.
I can make it rain.
Oh, it's rain.
Oh,
Charlie.
When you
I
do
don't know how you do all these things, Charlie. Happy about Doppelganger. So much food for thought in it. There is a lot of food for thought. And Glenda's here. Hi, Glenda. So a bit trepidatious about Codependent working in Silicon Valley. It's all everyone is talking about here now. But I also think it's a good opportunity to read something critical. Yeah. I just feel like I don't really know that much about AI, and I would quite like to know more.
It scares me a little bit.
It's scary.
I hope it's balanced, though. I hope it's a balanced account, because obviously there's benefits to AI as well, right? So I hope it's not just going to bash technology for 300 pages or whatever it is.
I wouldn't have thought it would.
I would hope not.
So calling Thunderclap and Doppelganger memoirs is a stretch. Oh, I don't think they are memoir. Well, Thunderclap, I think, is a memoir.
Yeah, technically this does say it has that on the... But yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, Kelly.
I wouldn't describe Doppelganger as a memoir as such.
There is memoir bits in here, though. There's quite a bit of memoir in here, actually. But there's also quite... the bigger portion of it is the art stuff, I think.
Is All She Carried a memoir?
Kelly.
Is All She Carried a memoir? No.
I don't think so. I think it's like a historical
account.
No.
Has anyone read All She Carried? Tell us in the comments and tell us. Because we want to. That's one.
I'm trying to picture the front and think if it said memoir on the front, but it didn't. I don't think.
Oh, we're looking. I don't think it is.
Yeah, I think Kelly's comment here about Doppelganger, that's really good wording, because I couldn't ever quite form the right words about Doppelganger, but commentary on today's society and the masks we put on and take off is really accurate, at least a part of it. So that's cool. Really random question, Jem, but what paint colour is that wall? Because I'm looking for a similar colour for my wall and I couldn't find the right one, but it looks perfect.
I think it was called like paprika or something. I'll be honest, I can't even remember what I had for dinner last night, so you're asking me to remember a paint colour.
She's tired. We've got to give Jem the love.
I'm sure it was something like paprika-ish.
So Caitlin thought Thunderclap would focus more on art history, but it feels like it's just a memoir about someone who likes art history. I was planning to DNF until the shortlist came out. Interesting.
Oh, still DNF it, mate.
That's not something you ask Jem. If you want to, she'll always say DNF.
Always DNF.
So here's a good question. Are there some that we think are better for audio format versus written? Like hearing great things about How to Say Babylon in audio.
100%.
Maybe the opposite is true for A Flat Place.
So I did audio A Flat Place, and I thought it was fine. It didn't annoy me, the audio.
Yeah, the narrator's good. It's just that the chapters are super, super long. So you just have to like, that's the only thing. You just have to like, and they all the chapters are like that.
Yeah. I haven't actually audiobooked any of them, so I couldn't say.
Have you not?
I know that Bob. I know that even though this is like a beautiful book and I recommend it physically, Bob the Booker did listen to the audiobook and he loved the audiobook. So I think this would work either which way, because she does describe, even though it's talking about paintings, she does describe the paintings. So but the only thing obviously that is good to have the reference pictures. I
don't think I'd be able to cope without having the paintings.
Yeah, because and also it's just a physically nice thing to hold, and like the pages are weighty and it's like stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know about Codependent because I'm going to try the audiobook of Codependent. So watch this space for that.
You can report back. No, I haven't audioed any of them yet because I ordered the audio of How to Say Babylon ages ago. I think I'm still 3 weeks away on it, so hopefully soon. What was I going to say? We better go on to actual banner. Shall we?
Why not?
No, I can't even find any banners. So yeah, I thought we'd talk about this one because a few people have been saying what they are sad was missed out. Do you think there's anything like really, really surprising about the list? Or
I think Matrescence. I think Matrescence. I think that's one I thought that was going to be on there.
I thought that was too niche. Okay, I love it. I'm halfway through it and I really love it. But I think I think it appeals more to women who have had babies.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I think women who haven't had babies would be less interested. I think men would be less interested. Is my take on it. Not, I mean, that's a blanket statement. That's not the case for everyone, but I do think it's more niche than some of the other books. Like How to Say Babylon, I think has wider appeal. You know?
I did see Eric was looking at the shortlist in a video earlier and said that, I think he said he had read Matrescence, I could be wrong, and that it went really, really well, because I remember him saying it went really, really well with Soldier Sailor, which I think we've all sort of said they pair quite well together. But I thought it was really interesting that from a male perspective, he had really enjoyed both together and found Matrescence really, really interesting. Whereas when the list came out, I was like, well, I'm not going to read Matrescence. I'm not bothered about that.
I wasn't that bothered by it when I saw the list, but then, like, in some ways, but then I think I tried the sample of it, and then I liked again. That was another good audiobook. Yeah.
Oh, did you audio it, Charlie?
Yes. And the narrator, I think the narrator's the actual author, and she's actually really good. It makes me want to read her other books. This is another good thing when you find a book, and you said the same thing about Anna Thunder, didn't you, Alice? to find for other
she's clearly a really, really good author. I've never read anything else by her, but I would look into it. I think her famous one is called Stasiland or something like that?
Oh, I've heard of that.
Is that her famous? I think it is. But it's Laura Cumming, who I immediately looked up, like, what else has she written? Because the writing in this just really, really appeals to me.
I want to read more of her books as well, for sure.
Like, I feel like you're getting a lot of information, but also it's so beautifully but simply written, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Lucy Jones has written Losing Eden, and that's a bit more nature based, so I'd be quite interested on that. It says it's about environmentalism, thought and ideology, nature therapy, etc. So that's one that I think I want to go to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jim, did you have anything you were particularly surprised about or thought was an omission?
Well, we know my omission thought. I was a little surprised to see Doppelganger on there. I don't know if surprised is the right word. I just kind of didn't want to read it after hearing your thoughts on it. Because we align pretty closely, right, on most books. So yeah. I don't think I'll dislike it, but I don't think it'll be a brilliant book for me. And now it's on the shortlist. I kind of would like to read all 6 on the shortlist. So, yeah. But I'll be honest. So if I get 20% in and I'm not feeling it, I'll just sack off. So
I think, I'd try it in the library. I don't want to pay it's because a lot of these non-fiction are quite expensive, aren't they? Physically, when you buy them, so it's quite a commitment to buy them. So I think, if I can get it from the library, if it comes on ever, and I'll try it. But I don't want to.
I found the first half of it actually a lot more interesting than the second half, but maybe that's because I stopped it and left off and had a break. Yeah. But the second half, it just seemed to steadily get more and more like, these are all of the terrible things that are happening in our world that I'm going to talk about, and that's really not me. Like, I've taken the news apps off my phone. I just find everything a bit too much. So like, I know that I'm not the average person, because I know the average person consumes more news than I do. But there was a lot of like really, really current affairs, really scary current affairs in it. So it's not really a big surprise I didn't like the second half of it very much. Well, that's too strong. It was fine, but it just wasn't me.
Fair.
It was a challenging read, mainly because I had to keep stopping and having rants about things.
That's fair enough.
Poor Jim.
I know the thing though. I'm just so happy for this prize. I'm so grateful for this prize, because it's come up with 16 books that I like. Before this prize came about, I never really would have thought that any of us, the 3 of us, would be so excited by it, because we were literally I think it's given us new books to try. I just think and it's promoting non-fiction by women. I just think it's such a. I just love this prize. I think it's such. So whatever happens with this shortlist, I just think the long list in general it excited me. So
I think it's been a really, really exciting prize so far, and I think that I've definitely been more excited about it than about the fiction this year, which isn't what I thought would be the case.
And I've read more of the non-fiction than the fiction so far.
So shall we whiz through a little touch on some of the books we haven't maybe talked that much about? So I've written them down in a random order, which is the order that the picture had the stack. So we'll just start with that order. This was on the top of the stack in the picture. So that's my rationale. All That She Carried by Tia Miles. So this book was, I believe, published a long time ago in the US, perhaps in 2021. So I think this has possibly been a bit more widely read than others on the list. And has it already won a prize? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I think it won the National Book. Is it the National Book Award?
Book Award. Yeah.
So, because I predicted this one to be shortlisted based on the fact that it has had previous, though I know someone commented and said they thought maybe it wouldn't get shortlisted because it had previous accolades. So,
yeah, I had the same. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a solid book to put through. It's obviously a good book. So
I'm definitely
interested in
interested
reading it.
to read it. I'm not just highlighting this comment because it's my mum, but my mum has read all that she carried, and just clarifying that it's more a history of female slaves told through a bag and its contents passed from a mother to her daughter rather than a memoir. Clever ideas and really interesting, but a bit repetitive.
Yeah,
was my mum's thoughts.
it does sound like a me book.
Yeah,
definitely. And that one's on Everend, so we can try that. Quite low stakes.
Yeah,
I would predict out of the three of us, it would be the most a Gemma book then.
Yeah,
out of all of us, but could be wrong.
I wonder what the audiobook would be like of that one, actually. I'm like, oh. So yeah.
I don't know. I've just ordered the physical book from the library. I think it was one of the ones I didn't order initially because Mum had ordered it, but it's gone back now. So yes, I've got no idea where
that was all that she carried was one that Olive spoke about when she joined us, didn't she? She spoke about that
because she had read that, I think,
and she loved it, didn't she? I'm fairly certain.
I believe so.
Yes.
I've lost the plot on the comments. Sorry, everyone. I can't seem to read today.
There was an interesting one by Teresa. Teresa said, to those of you that have read A Flat Place, is it really UK centred? Do you think non-UK readers will enjoy it as much as UK readers? And I think that you can chime in, Jem, if you want. I think you could appreciate it if you like for both, because it does also talk about her growing up in Pakistan, and also like to do with her family, and obviously, like I said, the mental health experiences as well. So
yeah, I don't think the fact that it's UK centered would put off other readers, because obviously it covered areas of the UK that I'm not familiar with, and that it was quite nice to learn about that. But yeah, I mean, it didn't work for me, and I am in the UK, so.
So Zach just saying, I'll stop audiobook anywhere. I never stop at the end of a chapter.
Zach, yes, I'm with you.
I've been known to stop an audiobook in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah, all the time. Or sometimes I stop physical books in the middle of a page.
Oh my god. I don't even know if I can be friends with you. I'm joking.
I do. I will get to the end of a paragraph, but not necessarily to the end of a page.
I'm just like, I have to keep sitting until I get to that little break point. Like, no.
But what if you're nearly asleep? You have to stop.
I mean, I just have to reread it.
What, the whole section?
Yeah, especially when you get sleepy, because otherwise you miss out. When you get sleepy, how do you know when your brain stopped absorbing it?
So if you were reading a 40-page section and you got 39 pages in, and you fell asleep.
No, a smaller section, Jem. A smaller section.
I'm talking about a paragraph here. Like you.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'd start the paragraph again if I fell asleep with my book on my face. I would do.
So Anne is also disappointed. And Ben's here. But multitasking, cooking dinner. It's late for dinner, Ben.
It is late for dinner. I was watching Ben's video while I cooked dinner. It was very pleasant.
I watched that earlier.
The International Booker First Sentence one.
I love the props. Love a video with props.
It was good. I'm a bit concerned about Ben though and his love of weapons.
Yeah, but you know that as I was watching that, which I'm not at all interested in the International Booker yet, I was like, oh, a weapon! Oh, I'm doing that. Oh, they've got a gun. Oh, they're bashing someone about the head. Yes, please. So I wanted to promote to the top all of the weapon ones. I was actually disappointed when Ben demoted some of the weapon ones.
We'll all be going to watch Ben's video shortly. I want to listen with Wifeden. I want to listen to the audiobook too.
Yeah, I was on that. Yeah, I didn't think about that one on audio. There are pictures in Wifeden.
Ooh.
Just so you know, but not like loads, but like pictures of people that are mentioned in the text and things like that.
I think it was one I tried a sample of and I thought it was good, so that's why I remember earmarking it quite early on for that.
Yeah, Elizabeth's agreeing that all that she carried is history, not memoir.
Yeah.
Teresa saying the same thing. Still confused about all that she carried being eligible since it came out in the US in 2021. I think the eligibility window just depends on the UK, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's what's
Yeah,
published in the UK.
So I think it just has to have been released in the UK in that like year-long eligibility window, and that was when it came out in the UK, I guess. It is strange that it came out like 2 years later,
though, isn't it? Because we're not usually that far out. I mean, 6 months, but
2 years does seem a bit long.
But you remember one of the years, what was the book that was it was one of the ones, it was last year's Shortlist Women's Prize, and it was the memoir one that was published.
Oh, yeah, there was a really odd one, wasn't there? Jennifer Croft's book.
Yeah, Jennifer Croft.
I forgot what it was called now.
Homesick.
Homesick? Yeah,
Homesick.
Yeah, so that had been published as a memoir, hadn't it, previously? And it then in another language, I believe.
Yeah.
And then
she
rewritten it in English.
The American market.
Yeah.
And then rewrote it as a auto fiction for
that's very confusing.
It was all very strange. It was a bit like how I felt this year when they were telling us about the books on the fiction list and they described In Defense of the Act as an essay. But then they were like, or is it? And I was like, okay, so it's clearly not an essay because it's on a fiction list.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you noticed that straight off and that you picked that out when she said the announcement.
I was like, an essay?
You clocked it straight off.
So Amelia's saying the memoir parts in Thunderclap were the reason which I bailed. I didn't like the tone of it, which was a shame because I was so interested in the art topic. Yeah, I'm really, really loving the tone of the memoir part, to be honest.
I agree. I like this book. This is a book hug.
Thunderclap and Babylon were wonderful on audio, both narrated by the authors. Very good.
Which doesn't always work, does it? As we know.
I read all that she carried and thought it was well done and very well researched, but found it interesting as a science-brained person how much the author speculated about the lives of the women. I think something I'm actually learning that I really like about non-fiction is like the speculative that is mixed in with it. Sounds strange, but I don't mind my non-fiction having a bit of like the element of we don't actually know this, but here's what I think, or that sort of thing. It was that there was a lot of that in Wifedom for sure.
I remember
like
you saying
fictionalized sections. Well, I quite like that. It turns out.
Well, I can't wait to see.
Let's have one audio. I had to Google the paintings. See, we do have Google these days, so you can just Google the paintings. And I've Googled some of the ones that she talks about but aren't pictured. So
I feel like obviously the painter that she's talking about did the Goldfinch. I mean, honestly, that's like such an iconic painting. Like we all know about it because as bookish people, because of the book by Donna
Tartt.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a painting.
Yeah, but that's the whole. That was the whole thing
about paintings, I believe. I haven't
read the Goldfinch. I thought it was about a bird.
No. About paintings, I think I haven't read it.
I haven't read it, but I know that the book, the Donna.
If you guys read it now and it's about a bird, you're going to eat your words.
It's not about a bird because I remember my friends talking about it on their videos. And I'm fairly certain if Sarah's still here, she'll tell you because she's read. I'm fairly certain she's read the Goldfinch because Leo loves that book.
Another omission. Loved the dictionary people and would have loved it to be on the shortlist, but I'm not surprised that it wasn't. See, I didn't think it would be on the shortlist, but I was hoping for it to be because I really want to read it.
I still want to
picked it up from the library yesterday, but I still will read it.
Yeah, I still want to read it.
We've had that. Surprise Matrescence or Eve wasn't on the list. I've not read them, but it seemed like one of them should be on the shortlist. I really thought both of those were so like
Women's Prize
non-fiction books.
Yeah, I was surprised Eve didn't make it.
But then I have heard some things about that, like because I had a comment on my recent video saying that Eve was slightly drier than they would have hoped. So maybe that was it.
Sarah has got Chapel Sands by Laura coming on your TBR. That's cool. I would like to read that. And Sarah also saying, I can consume no news, so I think I might heed Alice's warning on Doppelganger. Maybe I'll just read it if it wins.
I don't watch any news. I just hear it like through other people when something really dramatic has happened.
Yeah. I don't want to put anyone off it because I do think that the parts of it that are actually about doppelgangers are super interesting. But I'd say if you don't like the first half of the book, then probably don't read the scary second news half of the book.
This is the thing as well with Longlist. You're gonna like not every book is for every reader, so and it's not expected to be. So you're never going to have a shortlist that has like 6. Well, very rarely do you have a shortlist that has 6 books that every single person wants to read. It's
no, exactly. I think they've got a good mixture on there.
Yeah.
So Chris has read 5 books on the shortlist. Very impressed.
Well done, Chris.
Not read Doppelganger. As an American, I don't want to spend time reading about someone getting confused for a conspiracy nut. I try my hardest to avoid the nutters.
Oh, you read the wrong place here.
Why are you here then, Chris?
Sorry, Chris.
At least we're not conspiracy nutters.
Yeah.
True.
Different kinds of nutters.
With Gemma on stopping reading physical books mid-sentence. Just put that bookmark in horizontally sentence and go back.
No!
I can't remember the last word I read. I think we've broken Charlie.
Why would you do that? No, just no.
Charlie's gonna have to stop being friends with like all her good friends because they
These are like my favourite people.
Hi, Jack.
Oh, hi, Jack.
To distract Charlie from her pain. Yeah. I pause any time for audio, but prefer to finish at a line break or a chapter heading for physical books. Prefer to, but I will finish anywhere as necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
Apart from in the middle of a word. I'd say Babylon is excellent on audio.
100% agree.
And Jack agrees as well. Amelia did Thunderclap on audio. Maybe that was the problem.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm the complete opposite, Alice. I get annoyed when non-fiction dramatizes stuff they have no idea about. If you've ever read Philomena, somebody say that word. Yeah, I DNF'd it for that very reason. I can normally say that word, but it's gone.
You're tired. It's getting late.
Yeah.
But I'm going to challenge Jack now because the person who I think does this really, really well is Natalie Haynes. And she obviously puts a lot of conjecture in because we just don't know about a lot of the stuff that happened in ancient Greek mythology. So I think that works really well when she does that. But
what I would say is, I think there's a big difference. I don't know Philomena.
Philomena.
I don't know that book. Don't know it. So I can't even say it. So I can't comment on that, but there's a difference between like loads and loads of conjecture and it being done really, really well. I don't know if I'm actually making sense, but what I loved about it was that she made it so obvious which bits were not true.
That's fair.
Or not fully true. But you could tell she had researched so hard to write those fictionalized sections that they just didn't feel like fiction because the research was there. The research was so good. And I'm sure it's the same with Natalie Haynes, although I've not read her non-fiction. I'm sure that she has probably researched those ancient things to the maximum you possibly could.
As long as there's a clear distinction, I think that's important. That's as long as that.
Yeah. And I also really liked in the book, I liked her author voice coming into it. And I know that's not something that everybody would like, but I really like when people talk about how they've written the thing. So when she was like interjecting, talking about her experience as an author, I loved that, but maybe some people wouldn't love that. Charlie says, don't bother with the goldfinch. It is about painting.
Yeah.
And it was about painting. I thought it was about painting being stolen. That's and the boy get because yeah.
I do want to read that.
Boy who saved the painting. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. That's what I knew.
Excellent.
Thank you, Sarah.
Don't mind conjecture, but I dislike it when they talk about things as though they happened when it's pure speculation.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
I think that's what I was trying to say. Like, well researched over pure speculation.
Yeah.
Maybe is what I was trying to say, possibly. Waiting for the dictionary people from the library. Thank you, Charlie, for telling us about the goldfinch. And Sarah as well. And
yes.
More people stopping in middles of pages.
Let's just wind Charlie up some more.
Yeah. There's no talk of ice cream today, so we have to find something to with. So Rosie's almost finished Eve, really engaging and accessible. Really like Kat Bohannon's writing style. It deals with what could be dense material in a light-hearted and fun way. I'm so glad you've said that, because I've still got it out of the library. Still intend to read it, but those were all the things I was really worried about. That it wouldn't be accessible enough for me. So I'll definitely.
Let us know how you're getting on with the rest of the long list and which ones you still want to read, because we still want to know that. Because
yeah, definitely do that.
I still want to read the long list. So.
So I think we've quite a lot talked about A Flat Place.
It was good though. I liked it.
This. It's probably not in the right order anymore. Codependent, we haven't really talked about very much, other than it might be quite scary. So any further?
It also says it's talked about it through a diverse lens. I think that's one of the key words I think they said about, wasn't it? Something like that. Like. I'm sure they mentioned that.
Yeah.
This
is I'm really interested in this one. I think this one will be good.
Yeah. I'm wondering how many people have actually got to this one at all, though, because it literally came out
like a couple of weeks ago. Is it like a week ago or 2 weeks ago?
Is it even out? I thought this was the last one to come out. Doesn't this come out in like 2 days?
It was due to come out in 2 days, but I think they moved it forward 1 week. So
my zigzag like last week.
Okay, so they moved the publication date forward.
Yeah, because I filmed my predictions video, and in it was like, well, I don't think it's very fair that this isn't even out yet. And then I was like, I better check if it's out yet. And just cut that section.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
It does. So, I think as well, because it's like something that's out of my comfort zone, and that like it's exciting that people have enjoyed it. The people that felt similarly to me. So I'm like, that's what I'm like. It's good to read books outside your comfort zone, isn't it?
Yeah. I think this is just something that is like a different non-fiction to the other things on the list to me, because the other things I feel like you've got memoirs, you've got history, which are all stuff that I probably would read. This is one that, had they not mentioned it, I probably would have never even known it existed.
Yeah, 100%.
And it actually is a topic that I am quite interested about.
It's a topic I'm interested in, but it's one of those things where I would be reticent to pick it up in case it was too scientific, because I'm not like technologically brained.
So it's a textbook.
Too much into detail, then that will just turn my brain off. So, but because it's been longlisted and now shortlisted for this, I would expect a level of accessibility. So,
yeah, good.
100%.
Thunderclap we've talked about quite a lot, because everybody's coming up to you in the comments. Jem, are you excited about Thunderclap? Because I feel like we've not heard from you on this book.
No,
you're not really into art, are you?
No,
No.
No, I don't really care about art. So, I mean, everyone's saying good things, so I will give it a whirl. But
the writing's really, really good. If anything could get you interested in art, I reckon it would be this book.
I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. We talked about pushing out of comfort zones. I will give it a go. But yeah, I mean, I think it was the one I was least excited for on the long list. So.
The thing that I love about this is though, because like I wasn't quite sure what to make of it, because I like art. I'm not like clever about it, or I don't really know much about it, but I do appreciate nice pictures and paintings and things, and I like learning some things. But this made me go down, so I paused it so many times to go like Googling other things, and I feel that's like such a good sign of a book that you're like, do you know what I mean? Like that you're learning so much and like being so engaged with it. It was just like, I just love her voice, like you said, Alice. Like the memoir bits, I felt like were very touching. The things that she talked about, and also she talks about the actual thunderclap itself, which is very actually interesting. The explosion itself,
yeah,
that was really interesting.
Explosion sounds super interesting. She's only briefly mentioned it so far, though. Where I've got up to, so.
I just think it's just such a. I loved it.
Gem's like, okay.
I just think this is going to be like the Trespassers of 2024.
Oh no, it's not. It's truly not.
Charlie says it's great, but really, it's really dull.
It's like, not dull.
I don't know. It's necessarily a gem book. If I was to place bets, I wouldn't have said it's a gem book, being honest. But could be
well,
wrong.
if you don't like art, it might be a bit of a no-no. But I think Charlie, you've read this, but we're all excited about.
We're all excited for this one. Yeah.
You for sure will like that. You will both love this. I can't see anyone reading it and not.
Have you heard anybody say anything negative about How to Say Babylon?
Nope.
So I haven't. I think it's the only one. If you're in the comments and you have anything negative to say about How to Say Babylon, now's the time. Because I've not heard a single person say they didn't like it. No. Anything to add on that one?
No, just the fact that I think that it's quite, again, what was it someone else said about this, that it's quite a ballsy thing, because like I don't like to say ballsy, that's not the words I mean, but because she's writing about her family, and there are a lot of them are, obviously their family is still alive, so specifically her father. So like it's quite correct, it's a courageous book. That was the words I was thinking of. Courageous. It's courageous. Apart from being beautifully written and talking the way she talks about the things, and is very educational, I feel like this is my. Is it going to be between that and Thunderclap? Would be my favourite to win, even though we're going to say that in a minute, so I should be quiet.
And we've talked quite a lot about Doppelganger, I feel like, so I will just put the title up and say Doppelganger is also on the list. And we're not sure about it yet. So let's go straight to winner predictions, in fact, because we've had nearly 3 hours to think about this shortlist. What's going to win, ladies? What's it going to be? And tell us in the comments what's going to win.
Have we got to pick one? So you got to make us pick one.
Well, you can tell us.
That's what a winner is, Charlie.
We're not judge. I'm not.
There's one winner, and there are 15 losers in this game.
I'm not being paid. Like it's hard to pick. I would, or I'd have to think. You think between the two, I'd have to think.
If you like, you can tell us which one would win for you versus which one you think the judges are going to pick. Okay. But that's the maximum you can have, Charlie. Okay.
Well, obviously, How to Say Babylon.
Gemma's rolling her eyes.
No. How to Say Babylon would win for me because I gave it 5 stars. I didn't quite give this 5 stars, even though this is growing on me the more I think about it. But it was like just below 5 stars. I think this one would probably. I think this will win. But How to Say Babylon is my favourite.
Right. Gem.
I'm not a judge. I don't get paid.
I think How to Say Babylon will win.
I actually agree with you. I've got a really strong feeling How to Say Babylon is the winner.
Oh,
I don't know because I haven't read it.
Have you just seen Jennifer's comment?
No, but let's go straight to it.
That's why I love you, Jen.
Oh, I can't find it now. Is it the one about the booker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gen Z 19 would argue that you do not, in fact, have to choose a winner.
Yeah, that's what we'll do.
How many people were angry about that situation?
Would that be everybody was angry about that situation?
Everybody was angry about that situation.
Cop out. Total cop out.
Cop out.
I mean, I wasn't even invested in the book prize. I didn't even know that had happened. But if I had done, I probably would have thought it was a cop out.
It should have won. It should have won.
Which one should have won?
Go Women Other, obviously. It did win, but it should have just been the solo winner.
Yeah, I didn't really like that book.
And then we had a Pulitzer Prize where it was a joint winner last year as well. What was that about?
Oh, we did. You're right.
Really mad.
What was it? Demon Copperhead and
that other one that I read. Trust, yeah. Also a good book.
And Trust was like this.
No, I quite enjoyed it in the end. The first bit was so tedious, though. So, I don't know where I am with the comments, so I'm going to go from bottom to top instead.
Right, all out the window.
Alba thinks Babylon will win, but would like Thunderclap to win. Jack's still saying, I'm assuming you'll mean Babylon as well. How to say Babylon?
This could be a problem in going backwards.
Yeah, this could be the problem.
Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? Oh, I'm scrolling back. This is why we don't go backwards, people.
I feel like I'm going backwards every day, but, you know.
Definitely had that.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves.
It's all right. Entertain.
Yeah, be entertaining, ladies.
We have got. But can we say spoilers for who our next guest is going to be? Jem can announce
I
it.
have a banner for that, so now I've had to come away from the comments.
Oh, I'm sorry.
quick. Right, let me put the banner up, and then you can say it. Anyone can say it.
Okay. I'll get Jem to announce it. So we have a very exciting guest next time. Actually, two very exciting guests. And Jem will say who it's going to be. It's the Savages.
Simon and Louise are going to be here. Well, not here.
Not here. On Jem's channel.
On Tuesday night, 8
So we'll have Battle of the Savages.
Be there or be square. Is that what they say? Is that what the kids say?
I don't know.
I don't know. Probably not. My son will probably be horrified.
Do you think they'll be competitive with each other?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Louise will wipe the floor with Simon, to be fair.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I do.
So, this is where I think we were. I don't think we've got time for all the comments, though. So, Jack was saying, she was talking about history. You have to speculate on myth because it's made up. Yeah. Don't mind conjecture in history writing either, but I've read fictionalized accounts that just present as though they're fact.
That would be annoying. I would dislike that, yeah.
I like it if they've said outright, this is not fact. This is what I'm doing here. Here's what this is. But yeah. Anyway, my mum's saying, nobody mentioning the Britannias. I really enjoyed that, but it was so long. Agree about the speculation in all that she carried. It annoyed me a bit.
Okay. Interesting.
Flat Place would be my winner. Is that Martha? Yeah. Love the goldfish so much. Don't let the fact it's not about a bird put you off.
There you go.
I prefer birds to paintings, for sure.
Yeah.
And Sarah's saying, regarding the non-fiction speculation, the person who I think did it best was the 5, The Untold Lives of Jack the Ripper, Hallie Rubenhold. She did use the details available to imagine their lives.
That was a brilliant book, actually. That's really well done.
Yeah, I agree. It was an amazing one. That's one of my favourite non-fictions. I just love that book.
Is it?
That's another great. It's actually really another great book on audio, actually.
Oh, I didn't read it on audio, so.
Just from what Martin is saying here,
yeah,
I did think the doppelganger idea was sometimes getting a bit forced after a while. Like, I don't feel like this person is actually her doppelganger, obviously, because they've just got the same first name. that's about it.
There is a photo though. There's a photo of her, because I have looked that up. There is a photo that where they do kind of look alike. There's like a photo of her and then a photo of Naomi Wolf.
I did find it stretching it a bit at times, if I'm being honest.
Ooh, exciting.
That's getting on at you, everybody. Come on, like the
We love you, Zach.
Why don't you like us?
Zach is like, I love Zach so much. Like, I've got big hearts for Zach. I can't get the heart emoji up here, but because I can't do it. You can do a heart, but I can't do it.
So Jack's saying exactly what Alice and I thought, not the book that was marketed really, though interesting all the same. Might pick up Codependent. How to Say Babylon is Jack's favourite, maybe she's saying. I'm still very confused with the comments. Sorry, everybody, about today.
You're getting there.
Haven't read it yet, but I'm sad there was no Young Queen. Still going to read it.
I'm going to read that too.
And yeah, I have caught up with the comments.
Yay,
You're like a professional.
I hope Sophia Sinclair takes the prize, says Kelly. The Testaments is still sitting on my shelf unread, and I pre-ordered that. This one, Hall Girl, Woman, Other, as I also had that on my shelves for a similar time, and I just don't care anymore. So that's what Jack has to say about the Book of Controversy. No, Jack.
So that was a text we got from Jack last year, wasn't it? Can you remember when we were at the Women's Prize thing?
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah.
Dynamic duo, indeed.
Very cool. Next, yes, yeah, very excited about that. Roz has belatedly popped it in. How's your shoulder, Roz?
Yeah, how are you doing now, Roz? Tell us.
For me, Babylon, I think it might be hard to judge memoirs against true non-fiction because I think readers will emotionally connect more to memoirs. I think it's true.
But it does have a lot of information in it as well. How to Say Babylon. It does.
Yeah.
Not obviously as like much as like some of the other ones, but
I think lots of people that I've heard talk about How to Say Babylon have said that they did learn things from it.
I did. Anybody who wants to start saying who's that?
Thank you, Charlie. And Jack saying hi, Roz. So yeah, I think we should wrap up today because I can't seem to read comments. And I'm talking gibberish.
We haven't had Harry.
No, Harry is just here.
Oh,
But he's chosen to sit on my lap instead of in the picture. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
For anyone
Finally.
who wanted Harry.
Sweetie.
There he is. There's his whiskers.
I love him.
Oh, Roz is still painful.
Oh no.
Thank you so much, Roz, for coming on the Plodalong because I feel like you were probably in a lot of pain that day.
Yeah. We were very impressed. You're amazing. And she did really great with the question things we did, didn't she?
So yeah, I think we're going to have to say good night to everyone. Everyone's looking a bit tired.
We'll be back on Tuesday, the 2nd of April, with Simon and Louise, the Savages, over on James' channel.
That is in fact next Tuesday, isn't it? So
That is next Tuesday.
woo-hoo.
Yeah.
So
That's coming fast. Coming thick and
exciting
fast.
for that.
We
And
hope you all have a
will-
happy Easter.
Oh yeah, happy Easter. And we'll see you after that. Bye everyone. Thanks for coming.
Thank
Thank you
you.
everyone. Bye.